All right. This is very exciting. I'm very excited. Big fan of both of my guests today. I've been following them for the last few months, ever since that match. And this is why there needs to be more test matches in the world, because I started following a lot more women's cricket after that match. And more cricket for ladies we require in life is what Twitter will say. I'm going to be screaming a lot because I'm very excited. So everybody just let it go. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Do give a few likes so that the YouTube algorithms are defeated and we can conquer this demon called the YouTube algorithms, which has been against us for so long. Sharanya Deva says, super chat your questions now. That's a higher chance of Alex Hartley and Kate Cross answering them. Absolutely correct. With a beautiful dollar sign as well there. I sincerely doubt there'd be dollar signs. But early OP and shirt OP, this is given to me by the people at Shirty who gave this as a birthday gift. So this is a free plug. That's all you need to get a free plug on the show. Just send me free shit. That's all you require. Just a couple of things before I bring on my guests. I am going to be in Hyderabad this weekend. I'm going to be on Saturday at one of the two venues. It's called Over the Moon or Moonshine Project. I don't know why I'm performing at so many moons. I think it's largely because of the shape of my head. They've decided that he should only perform in things that are satellites. So that's going to happen tomorrow at 5 p.m. Is the first show on Saturday, and on Sunday is the show at 7 p.m. Am I really loud? I really got to tone it down. So 7 p.m. is that. And then next week on Saturday, I'm going to do a show, which is just a crowd work show where I'm going to be messing around with you people and just talking to you, which is happening in Mumbai at J Spot, which is one of the best comedy clubs in the country. So quite excited about both of those things. Mirror says, call Jemima. Absolutely. 1 second. Let me just WhatsApp Jemima on my phone where I have everybody's phone numbers. Anybody else, let me know. If anybody wants me to call up Nelson Mandela, we'll get in touch with the afterlife and all of those things. I'm in touch with the world, everyone. But keep your suggestions coming. I appreciate them. Smooth head, totally nice, says Adhya Pacharne. I appreciate it. Do subscribe to the channel. As we said, IPL lives daily. So I'm not entirely sure who's going to be there tomorrow. But a fun bunch of people have been lined up. Okay. Going to bring on my guests for today. Just fantastic cricketers. They are the reasons I started watching the 100. I just told them this. Please give it up for Alex Hartley and Kate Cross, everybody.
Hey!
Hey!
How are you?
I am great. I'm very, very happy to see both of you in those wonderful jerseys. And
Yes.
you know what? We tried very hard to get this done on the day of that particular match, but alas. So who do you think? Who do you think between the two of you? Who do you think CSK or RCB? Who do you think has the upper edge so far?
I would say we did, but we've not had a great 3 games. So I did tweet yesterday saying you only got to win the games that matter. So when we get to the knockout stages, they're the games that matter. But this one, they've never won, and she thinks they're going to win this year. They're not.
We've got to win at some stage. So this year's our year.
See, I like the inevitability of optimism, which is that
eventually all fans have it.
Yeah. I think it'll be really nice if RCB wins, but I think it'll be really funny if they lose.
Yeah, you know what? These things happen.
Very excited to have you both. Can we get some things about Alex Hartley and Kate Cross? And by the way, I don't know if people at home can see this, but actually you can, which is Alex and Kate Cross Hartley, which is again going to fuel the rumors, which is, are you both together? Are you married? How long have you been married? Was this an arranged marriage?
We've been married for 15 years now. No, we're not. We get asked that all the time because we're just best friends who happen to live together at the minute. And we do a podcast together and we play cricket together and our lives revolve around each other. But no, we're just best friends.
I have to plug, by the way, No Balls podcast. And this is how unintelligent I am. It took me 3 episodes to understand the pun in the title. This is how dumb I am. So that's the process of my mind. So No Balls podcast, check it out. It's on Spotify. There's a bunch of really fun episodes. I just heard the one with Harmanpreet Kaur, which is really fun, and of course the Gram Swan one was exciting, and all the episodes preceding it, and also the fact that listen, what I enjoy thoroughly about listening to cricketers talk about their lives is that it really reflects a lot with what I do as a comedian, because it's about hotel rooms, it's about what you ate, and then you went through an earthquake, which is another level.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that no one really sees, because they watch you play cricket on telly, or they read newspaper articles that you've done interviews in, but they don't see everything that goes on behind the scenes. So I think the podcast does allow people into our lives a little bit. But yeah, we literally went through an earthquake when we were in New Zealand, and it was 2 a.m. and I was like, what do? Do you evacuate? Surely not, because the ground is shaking. So if I leave this building, I'm still going to be in an earthquake. So yeah, it was crazy, but got to tell everyone on the podcast about it.
Yeah, everything like almost bad that happens for content. That's all it is.
Yeah.
By the way, the prime minister was also pretty chilled out during a press conference when she went through earthquakes. So that's pretty inspiring to watch.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They're used to it in New Zealand. We don't have earthquakes in England. So, we just didn't know what to do. One of our analysts, actually, he evacuated himself from the building and was just downstairs in the lobby. Like, where is everyone? We were all still asleep.
By the way, I would love to talk to you both about what you actually did on the 100, which I thought was quite tremendous, where you were playing and you were presenting at the same time. That's going to be it's going to be a pretty hectic day to be doing both and training at the same time.
Yeah, it was really hectic. So the games that we played, so they were all double headers. So I would play and then come off the field and go straight to work to commentate. And then the day after we would have a rest day. So I'd go somewhere else to commentate and then back to training and vice versa. So it was really hectic. And then you did some as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
But it was an amazing competition to be a part of. And yeah, it was honestly so much fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And you know what? It was so interesting to watch because it takes a little bit of a mind adjustment to try and understand the whole balls thing, right? Because it's balls, and we're so used to overs, and then you start realizing that okay, balls are actually far more accessible than understanding overs.
I remember we played the first game. We played a couple of warm-up games, and I couldn't believe how quickly I switched into thinking about balls rather than overs. And it's actually so much easier because literally they need 25 runs, there's 20 balls left. Whereas I'm really bad at my 6 times table. So then trying to work out the run rate in actual real cricket, I say real cricket, you know what I mean? Not the 100. Yeah, so it actually really helped me maths wise because I'm the worst mathematician. But it was, like Al said, it was just so much fun. It was literally the best 4 weeks of our cricket lives, wasn't it? It was incredible.
I also love the name Manchester Original because it implies that there exists a team somewhere which is called the Manchester Fakes who are trying to be all of you. Just sell their ways to the ECB, saying, no, it's me, Kate, Chris. Come on.
Yeah, the originals is what we kept calling ourselves.
Yeah. Did either of you get to, I saw the highlights of 2 matches. Did either of you get to ball the 10 ball over at the end?
I did. You didn't?
I definitely didn't.
No, she definitely didn't.
I definitely didn't.
Yeah, I was very smart because obviously as a seamer, you probably don't want to bowl 10 balls in a row. I have actually in normal cricket bowled a 10 ball over, but that's a different story. Yeah. But I did it in between. So we swapped ends. So I had a 50-second gap in between my 2 5-ball sets, whatever they call it. But yeah, it wasn't too strenuous. And I don't think I went for a run.
Oh, did you?
I think they called it a maiden, but it's not, obviously not maidens because it's not overs anymore. But I don't think I conceded a run in it, which was crazy.
Yeah. Was that the first match?
No, it was against
Headingley.
Yeah, it was at Headingley against the Superchargers, the pop chip team.
Purple one.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, fully on board. Like, been going on. I think we've been talking about this, and everybody who's involved in cricket has been talking about how we need a women's IPL. And Alex, you've already thrown your name into being the captain of the Chennai Super Queens, if that's what it's going to be called. It can be called the Monarchs as well.
No, that's me. But I'm definitely going to be captain.
Sorry, Kate, I meant. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I know both your names, and I just looked here and I said, Alex, Kate, Cross, Hartley.
Can we swap it around for you so you remember?
I know your names. I just messed up. There's too much excitement in my yeah.
But you're going to be captain of the Super Queens.
Yeah. Honestly, we're really hopeful for an IPL. It feels like the time is right for one. And I saw something the other day actually. Was it Sorabh who said that he doesn't think there's enough depth in domestic level to be able to make a women's IPL, which I'm not sure I believe. I genuinely think that there's enough talent in India now to make a 5-team tournament. And obviously Chennai would need to be one of those teams so that I could come and play for them.
Yeah. Alex, what about you? Like a Royal Challengers Bangalore, is that the captaincy immediately? Have you put your hat in the ring?
I do not want the captaincy. I don't want that. Harmanpreet Kaur can have the captaincy of Bangalore. So that she can have that. That's fine. I'd love to play, but I'm just probably not good enough. So I'll commentate or something. You know, I'll be in the media somehow.
So I got to ask you a question actually, because you've like I know everybody's been talking about the stress of actually playing for an international side and all of that, and you mentioned a couple of times about how it was a really tough go for you playing for the England side. What made it tough, and what are the challenges that you sort of faced playing for the international side?
I guess it's just not knowing if you're gonna play or not, and not knowing if you're gonna have a job. So when I lost my England contract, there was no cricket underneath, so I didn't know if I was going to have to go and work in a local supermarket or go and get a job in an office. So I guess the uncertainty around England contract back a few years ago, that was where that came from. And obviously the pressures of playing international cricket, you know, you're representing your country.
The scrutiny, and you're on TV. And I think this summer has been the first summer where we've played a lot of cricket as female cricketers. And prior to that, when Al was talking about losing a contract, you would go back to playing county cricket and there'd be like 6 games in the season that you could play. So the fact now that we've played a full summer with the 100 international regional cricket, like you're not training all the time. Whereas when like 2-3 years ago, you were just constantly in the nets. And then when you went out and played for England, you put everything on that performance because you thought it might be my last chance to play cricket for England. So there was always that pressure, certainly for me. I don't know how you felt.
Oh, yeah.
But I felt like every time I put my England shirt on, I needed to have a player of the match performance. So there was that kind of pressure that you put on yourself more than anything, because it's so unlikely that other than Glenn Maxwell, no one can go out there and just score runs for fun and take wickets and whatever. So yeah, I think it was just that perception of how much you needed to be a match winner all the time.
Yeah, I can completely. I thoroughly enjoy Maxwell bowling these days because his hair is reaching another level. So it's always enjoyable when he bowls that, which goes straight on him, and his hair is on some Trump level. It's very exciting to watch. Yeah. But you had mentioned this, Kate, in one of actually a bunch of times, which is that as a woman cricketer, you have to learn to play Test cricket while playing the Test match.
Yeah,
which is another level of like, because and by the way, I have to I think I mentioned this to you on WhatsApp as well, which is a big fan of Catherine Brunt, because I remember the commentator saying something about that she bowls so with so much effort that at the end of each day she had to put her feet inside a ice bucket for like 63 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us about playing a Test and all the challenges that go with that.
So notoriously, we've only ever played Test cricket against Australia in the Ashes, and we play a multi-format series. So we play a Test match, 3 one-days and 3 T20s, and it's like a point system, and whoever wins overall is the Ashes winner. But then this year we played against India, which was incredible. It was organised at the last minute, though. Yeah. I think India told us we were going to play it, and we were like, "Yeah, absolutely, sure, we'll play." But we'd not played against India since 2015, I think it would have been, and there were 7 debutants in that game. So that goes to show how little Test cricket we play. But because we play so little of it, we'll have a warm-up game before we play a Test match, and then we go into the Test match, and you just have to learn as you go. And you know, the ebbs and flows of the game is obviously drawn out over a longer period of time than one-day cricket or T20 cricket. So you just kind of have to ride the wave with it and accept that you're not going to know every scenario or how to play every scenario, but you just got to learn it whilst you're live on TV doing it.
Yeah, and I think that's what I mean. There's got to be an exception to that, because I think when India was playing this, I don't know, whenever there's a women's Test, the rain starts, and I'm like, can you like randomly in the middle of nothing, Australia starts raining? And I think this is some cloud seeding conspiracy by some sheikh from Dubai who just wants all the matches to shift to the UAE. This is what I think it is.
I mean, what I'm saying is, because that rain heavily affected that Test match in Australia, even more reason to have 5-day Test matches for women, because they're always a draw. No matter, every single game that has been played Test match cricket over recent years has finished in a draw,
except when India beat us in 2015 with 7 debutants. Yeah, they beat us in the space of 4 days. So
Yeah, I think that was around the time I started watching women's cricket. It's also like, so my wife has a bizarre question about. We were watching the game, and she's like, "Hey, I have a question about hair management because there seems to be a lot of hair management going around."
This one does her hair every single over, if not twice and over.
Look how long it is though.
And
Like, how do you make this work?
I mean, mine's that long. And she just has to do it all the time. And what she does, she doesn't want to keep her hair bubbles in her pocket, so she keeps them in her socks.
So when I snap my hair bubbles and Alex is on commentary, she knows that I'm going to go and get one out of my sock.
So I'm like, oh, camera to cross, please, because she's about to get one out of her sock.
But when we've been doing the podcast, we've had access to a lot of the male cricketers, and we've asked all of them, what was it like in the pandemic when you couldn't go to the hairdressers and get your hair cut and you had to learn how to bowl? Like, they all wore the headbands. I remember Stuart Broad had like a bandana on. Chris Wokes had an Alice band. And they were like, honestly, girls, I don't know how you do that day in, day out.
It seems like a lot. Yeah, I have the same. I have roughly the same problem. I mean, you can't see it right now because my hairband is in my pocket, but I mean, that's where
it's in your sock.
Yeah, it's in my sock. Sorry. yeah. By the way, lots of people tuning in. We have about 500 odd views. Let's get the likes up so that more people tune in, because again, algorithms must be defeated. We have one super chat popping in from Jayan Shankar, who says very simply, "Crossy, do something."
Yes. So there's a story behind that. You can tell it because it was you.
So the story behind it is, we were playing cricket at the start of the summer and we were getting beaten, heavily beaten. And I didn't know what to say. I think I was captain.
I was captain.
Captain. Crossy was bowling. And she's at the top of her mark. And I just went, "Crossy, just do something." And with that very next ball, she took a wicket. So we celebrated.
I've like turned around and was pointing at Al, giving it like, that was for you.
And then 3 overs later, Crossy, just do something. She gets another wicket. So we all got mental. So now it's Crossy, do something. And it's not worked since.
No, it's not.
It worked. I told her once to do it for a McFlurry ice cream and she got a wicket.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I think you just have to rewire her mind by saying something absurd. Like, yeah. Crossy, build a satellite to the moon. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, right.
Crossy, remove your canine tooth and stab somebody in the face with it. Just any. maybe not that particular one, but I'm sure there's others.
Maybe not on a cricket pitch.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. So first of all, Crossy. Okay. Let's be honest. Is not whoever thought that up. Not the most imaginative. And again, who. Okay. This is the question. Okay. Maxwell has given himself the moniker of the Big Show. Chris Gayle has given himself the universe boss. KL Rahul briefly tried to call himself King Legend Rahul, which didn't really pan out. But if you were to give yourself like one of those nicknames or monikers or whatever it is, what would it be?
Like an arrogant nickname.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Whatever suits you. It could also be like something understated, whatever. This is for both of you, by the way. Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, I'm not like that. And we asked Maxwell about that nickname, and he said he didn't give himself that nickname. He said that it got mixed up. So we will back him up there a little bit. But if I was to give myself a nickname, oh my god, it would be something like what did you say? Queen of a length.
That could apply to many jobs. This is like, I'm a tailor. I also put traffic cones. This is a lot of stuff. Yeah. What about you, Alex? What would yours be? Queen of a length is what we got. And again, by the way, I thoroughly enjoy how Kate is sticking to being the queen and once again re-establishing her contract with the Chennai Super Queens, which is it's great.
I would be. Would I be?
You're the crab.
I'd be. Honestly, this is the hardest question.
Yeah, this is.
Okay. I mean,
I can't be the queen of spin because I'm not that good.
You don't spin it.
I don't spin it.
She doesn't. It's crazy. You've actually spun a few this year. I'll give you that.
She doesn't. It's crazy.
What is the crab? Is the crab one of the monikers? Is that one of it?
The crab. Yeah, I'd be the crab.
You just accepted. You're like, fine, I'll be the crab. This is my fate.
There's a story behind the crab.
Right.
Oh God, can we tell it?
You can say anything on the show, but again, it's up to you. Yeah, I mean, you can. This show is
down version. So Alex has been. She's had a fun summer. She's been out drinking, having fun, playing cricket, meeting loads of people. And I said to her one day that she's a bit like a pest. You know, she's just always there, always pesting. And so when I was on WhatsApp to her, and I said, but there's no pest emoji, and the only emoji that looked remotely like a pest was a crab. So I said, I'm gonna from now on call you the crab. So yeah, she's the crab. And then we played a game recently. Actually, it was about a month ago, and it was when the test match got cancelled at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And everyone found out on the Friday morning, and we happened to have a game 10 minutes away from Old Trafford, and the test match crowd kind of filtered into our game. And I was talking to these lads on the boundary who had come up from London, and they said, right, has Hartley got a nickname? Because we want to shout something. So I was racking my brains, and I said, tell you what, call her the crab. So Alex is getting ready to bowl, and the lads shout from the sideline, come on, the crab. And Alex absolutely wets herself.
I couldn't bowl. I was like laughing so much.
Had to stop bowling. And then the next ball takes a wicket and again gives it the whole to the crowd because they call her the crab. Yeah. So she's the crab.
That's fun. And it's also like that movie. By the way, when you said that this is a watered down version, I was expecting something completely different because I was associating crab with all sorts of stuff, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is another censored version of that.
Yeah, different crabs.
Yeah, but this is like that movie, right? Which is the Colin Farrell movie. It's a great movie where everybody gets turned into a crab. I mean, I don't want to reveal anything at the end, but it's a great movie. Yeah, there you go. So there's your mascot as well, which is Colin Farrell randomly. Yeah. Okay. We'll just take a couple of normal chats that are popping in. Vasant Narayan says, Alex, take on the Indian women team, areas they can work on, and about her team's strategy to the World Cup. Request to all women cricketers to influence BCCI to start the IPL. By the way, I think everybody's been telling the BCCI to start the IPL. And I agree with Lisa Stelekar, whose surname I'm pretty sure I'm butchering. Where right. Is it right? Oh, super. Yeah. As I said, I got it absolutely correct in the first try. But I think what she said in a podcast with Gaurav Kapoor was that there's more than enough talent. There's enough talent for 8 teams, and I think with, as you said, 7 people making their debut, defeating England in a Test match, and then the sort of depth they have even on the bench in Australia. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a shortage of talent.
There's definitely not a shortage of talent. For me, it feels like the BCCI are waiting for the right time to start the women's IPL or waiting for them to win a major tournament, because the opportunities have been there in 2017, 2020. The opportunities were there for the women's IPL to start. But from experience, you're not going to win a world tournament without a proper domestic structure and a proper tournament. So Australia have had the Big Bash and they've got their domestic structure. We've had the KSL professional contracts in the 100, and now you just think it's time for India to catch up, because we don't want India to fall behind, because we know the talent that country has got and the capabilities that they can go to, because you only have to look at Shafali Verma, for example, and how good she is at such a young age, of what else there is in India, and you'll never see it unless you've got a domestic competition.
And those domestic competitions prepare you for the big stage as well. So the 100 for us, I don't know if you saw the opening fixture, but it was the Manchester Originals versus the Oval Invincibles at the Oval. And we kind of knew that people would come and watch out of a bit of curiosity. It was a new tournament. And there was 8,000 people watching women's domestic cricket, and 2.2 million tuned in on TV, something mental for domestic cricket, which you kind of would expect those numbers for a big global ICC tournament. So we had domestic girls who had not played cricket on TV before getting thrown in at the deep end, playing in that fixture, and they'll just be better cricketers for it. So if you can prepare girls at a domestic level for international level, then the international team will just be loads better prepared for it.
Yeah, also it cuts to a question which I think you've covered on the podcast, and a lot of women cricketers have spoken about. I think even Harmanpreet Kaur said this, and Shafali Verma also said this, that growing up, the only place you could play was you had to play with the men. Now, that sounds like it comes with its own set of challenges. But is there any upside to it? Is there any upside at all to doing that, or it's all just is it all just tough and down?
Well, we always had to grow up playing men's cricket because women to play, or I think my closest home team was like an hour and a half away. So for me to ask my parents to travel, it was, for a home fixture, it just wasn't fair. Sorry, we're having some internet issues. I think we're back. But yeah, I think we interviewed Harmanpreet, and it was a really similar story, wasn't it? So it goes to show that these stories are the same worldwide, but hopefully now we're going to start getting women being introduced to women's teams earlier, so they're playing women's cricket, but also their role models are females.
Yeah.
Because I certainly had male role models growing up, but hopefully now the visibility that we've got means that girls will be able to see girls playing cricket.
Yeah, it's one of the observations that I had. So growing up in India, when I used to play cricket as a young boy, and one of India's most unrequited all-rounders, I used to bowl at about 175, and the pace, the bounce of the rubber ball that I used to get was devastating.
But comedy was for you.
Yeah, comedy was for me. Yeah. I caused that New Zealand earthquake by just one of my deliveries, which is a bouncer down, like in India. It's just, I have incredible pace and bounce. But
what I know then?
Oh, my nickname I've already decided is sold out Sorabh, which is because if I do a brand deal, then people are like, hey, you're a sellout. I'm like, yeah, I'm a sold out. I've already said this. And if a show doesn't sell enough tickets, then I'm like, hey, it's sold out. So I'm good either way. I've covered myself. But when I used to play, there used to be literally zero girls playing with us. There used to be nobody. Like they used to come on and off and then just like whatever, mess around a little bit and go. And now in my son and my daughter's generation, everybody's like playing together, whatever the sport is, whether it's football or cricket or tennis or whatever it is, or badminton or whatever it is. So yeah, it's always a good sign.
And that's what we want to see, isn't it? It sounds cliche, but our jobs is to inspire the next generation of kids, and that's what we want to do.
I think I remember one of the Indian girls' stories. It might have been Shefali actually, but she said that she had to cut her hair short so that she looked like a boy when she played boys or was playing with the boys in the street or at the club that she went to, which it sounds ridiculous that needed to happen. But I guess it goes to show how far we have to go, to make women's cricket more accessible for everybody.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch. Like, with again, the 100 was barring the graphics on the 100, whoever made those needs to be fired, but everything else was great.
It was very PlayStation, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was like not even PlayStation of the current, it was like PlayStation from 1998.
Retro, yeah.
It was really confusing to follow as well.
Yeah. So barring that, I would say, 100% the 100. I think a lot of people have also been saying that the 100 is more exciting than the IPL, which raises another can of worms, which we will get into. Yeah. Okay. I think we have a couple more questions. If you have questions, please get them in. Wait 1 second. Okay. More and more people are watching, which is great. Okay. I had a couple of other questions. One was that this has been a very interesting week for fast bowling, because in the IPL, there was Umran Malik, who clocked 153, which is the second fastest an Indian has ever bowled. And then Tela, I'm definitely going to butcher her surname, but let's try. Vlaminic.
That
was good. It's a hard name to say.
Yeah. So 145, that's a lot.
Well, did that happen?
Didn't happen. Apparently she clocked 127. So it's still pretty quick.
That's quick in the women's game, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's been a good do you notice around you that a lot of the bowlers are getting faster?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's through having structures like we've got in England and Australia, where you can get in the gym early as a kid and get strong and really practice your skills. And we've got some young girls in the Thunder team that no doubt are going to bowl that fast when they're older, because they're in the gym early, they're getting strong, they've got a proper bowling coach. And it's just exciting, isn't it?
I think as well, especially in Australia, we're starting to play on better pitches now. So that naturally the pace of the women's game is going to be slower than the men. But if we're playing on better pitches where there's carry and you can bowl bouncers and actually hurry batters, that's only going to help us. I remember Lockie Ferguson was part of our Manchester Originals team, and I bowled a bouncer one game, didn't I? And he came up to me that night in the hotel and he was like, do it more. Do more of that, more bowling bouncers. And I said, well, I'm not that quick, Lockie. And he said, no, just do it. Just carry on doing it. He said, it's amazing. And then I was watching him yesterday. They played, KKR were playing, and he clocked 151 bowling a bouncer. And I was like, it's a bit different.
Teach me.
I said that to him. Teach me.
Listen, Lockie Ferguson is one of those people who every time he's not picked in a T20 side, I get very worked up.
Yeah, and me.
Who do you support?
I'm currently Delhi Capitals because I'm a massive. I love the pace battery. Listen, when batters are getting bounced out and listen, I still remember that Mitchell Johnson torturing the English batsman with great joy. I'm sorry to bring this up.
We weren't facing it. It's fine.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm currently a big fan of the Delhi Capitals, and again, Rishabh is just this. He's just the most likable cricketer. Like I think Mandana comes pretty close to being equally likable. I think in just the cricket space, it's those two who I keep talking about.
I actually said at the start of the IPL this year that it would be a CSK Delhi Capitals final.
So you're switching allegiance?
No.
Just the RCB wouldn't make it. She just knew.
Okay, I got to talk to you about Harmanpreet Kaur, which is the first of all, I love people saying that Kate and Harmanpreet are sisters.
Twins.
Yeah.
Twins.
Yeah, which is actually, I mean, yeah, it's possible.
I'm going to find a photo for you. You just talk while I do this, but I think I look more like Harmanpreet Kaur in this photo than she looks like Harmanpreet Kaur. I'm going to find it for you.
So Harmanpreet Kaur, it seems so interesting to me because I like her in the 100 because I think that the pressure seems off. Where she's like, you know what, I can just have some fun here.
Yeah, she did, and she unfortunately for us this year, she got injured, only played 2 games, didn't she? So, but when she did play, I think she averaged 50, and she just plays her cricket in such an interesting way. You know, she likes to play herself in and rotate the strike, and then all of a sudden she'll flick a switch and she starts hitting sixes, and almost you want to go, Harman, do it straight away, do it now, do it as soon as you go in. But she's such a good player, and she, although she got injured for us, she was still stuck around and was around at training and things like that. And she's just a brilliant person to have in your team.
We've noticed as well. So when she first came over, her English wasn't great. And I think that knocked her confidence quite a lot, because it must be quite intimidating coming into a team where not everyone speaks Punjab. And we try our best, won't we? We try and learn a bit of the language to make her feel better. But this year, her English has been incredible. And she was a different girl around the group, which was really lovely for us to see as well, because she looked more at home. But she's such when she hits over extra cover, I've never seen anyone in the women's game be able to do it as effortlessly as she does.
I mean, Glenn Maxwell asked her to teach him how to hit over extra cover. She does it
wow.
Well.
Yeah, nice.
Crossie's found the photo.
Look at this.
Yeah, you gotta see this.
Tell me that this isn't Harmanpreet Kaur.
It's done. I think you know what? You should try this in one of the I know you back low down the order. Just at some stage, just pop in at number 4. But the Manchester just pop in.
Yeah, we have so much fun with that though, because I remember when she first came and played for us, because it's been 4 years now that she's been part of our team.
Yeah.
But I said to her, do you know, Harman, that people say we look alike? And she said that someone in her team had brought it up with her about 5-6 years ago and said there's an English girl who looks a lot like you, and she didn't believe it. And then she saw a picture of me and said she couldn't believe how much we looked alike. But we've kind of bonded over it now. So it's actually really sweet.
And then I'm like, hello. I'm the sister that doesn't look like anything.
But the language thing is a very interesting one. I think I remember this quote by Fani de Villiers who said that people used to think I was unintelligent because I just didn't speak the language. And he's like, no, I'm pretty intelligent. I'm just not intelligent in your language at the moment. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, that's a pretty, which is why when across where we make fun of Pakistani cricketers not being able to speak the language in a press conference, I'm like, yeah, do your jokes, but come on, it's all right, man. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can barely speak English, so I've got no chance of speaking any other language.
Go ahead.
She taught us the swear words.
Yeah, she did.
So now we know when Virat Kohli is shouting Ben something, we know what that means.
And you should find all the variants of that. I've found a lot of those variants. See, this is a true Punjabi. Is the first step is always teach the expletives, and then we move on to the rest. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, I'm going to take a few chats that are popping in. Neeraj Patel, thanks for your super chat. He says, for cricket, for Takliya, for sexy English accent, which I love. Okay, that's a little odd. I wish I'd read that.
We actually have the worst English accents because we're from up north.
Yeah.
And we sound like really thick.
Not sexy.
Yeah, not sexy.
Is Mark Wood from up north as well?
Yeah, he's further north than us. So he's from Newcastle. So he's got a Geordie accent.
Yeah. And by the way, because of your podcast, I started listening to Mark Wood and Miles Jupp, and I was like, oh, this I've opened a completely different world, because I think like in India, what tends to happen is that as a cricket fan, you tend to see the cricketers only on the basis of like, Instagram reels and all the rest of that stuff. And then occasionally Ashwin will come out with the Kutti story and then interview you as well. So this, it's just interesting to just find cricketers in their normal habitat. That's all I want to say. Yeah.
This is our normal habitat.
This is our normal. Yeah. Mine's signed by everybody as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. Wow. I can't see Virat Kohli's signature on there.
Yeah. This looks like, I think you can compare it with whoever's bat Virat signed the undersign of.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, we got to talk about the IPL as well, but I just got to take a couple more questions. Swadhin says night time. I know is not here. I don't know, and he's put a fist like that. I don't know what that, like that revolution fist or whatever that is supposed to be. Okay, I want to talk to you about the two things that, like, if you, and this is right initially when I was like sort of Googling you, the two videos that pop up. One, of course, Kate, you must be sick of that video where you missed that run out, right?
Oh, the run out, for God's sake.
Yeah. But I found another video which you tweeted yourself, which I thought was equally hilarious, which is, I think you come into bowl and you bowl a bouncer at your foot. It goes all the way there.
Oh my God. So two probably of the lowest parts of my cricket career you've just brought up, but the run out, I got so much abuse online for that because everyone thought I was match fixing, but it turns out I just didn't know a cricket rule. So I didn't know if you've got one bail still on, like one of the bails had fallen off and there was one bail still on, I thought you still had to take the stump out of the ground, which I didn't think I had time to do. So I threw the ball to the other end and it didn't look great. It wasn't my best cricket, but the ball. So I was running in and I prepared myself to bowl a slower ball. So my grip was a bit different on the ball. And I saw her, like the batter, run at me and I panicked and I tried to bowl a bouncer and the ball got stuck in my hand and it literally went to point.
Yeah.
Like, it went off the pitch so far that point picked it up. It was horrendous.
We see stuff like that all the time. Sam Curran did the same the other day in the IPL, didn't he? So it literally happens all the time. But when you've got friends like me and Kate who put it on the internet...
It was that.
While researching both of you, I went through it and I'm like, this is, oh my God. So I'm going to put both these videos in the description, along with other happy things like the No Balls podcast link and all that. But yeah, Alex, I know you're probably sick about talking about this whole tweet thing and all the rest of that stuff. About the England, I thought it was funny. And I think I know you're probably tired of talking about it, but I think what Kate said was that it was a clumsy tweet, but I think what Burns said afterwards was far clumsier. I think I'll say it for you if you're not saying it. Yeah.
So I actually tweeted it at a time where England were winning. So England had just got a few quick wickets, and I knew that the girls were playing in the evening. So I was like, oh, England are going to win. So I tweeted the tweet, sent it out, didn't think anything of it. Everyone got on board. They were like, yeah, great tweet, until one person got involved. And then I got loads of abuse. And you know what? It's water under the bridge for me. It's social media. It's not real life. I haven't spoken to him since, I'm probably not going to speak to him in the future. But it was a clumsy tweet. But would I do it again? Probably.
It was clumsy because I didn't realise that Al had tweeted it during the game. I thought it happened after the game. So I think that's where a lot of people thought it was a bit of a bad tweet, but it actually happened at a time where either of the teams could have won. Which I think obviously from the players' point of view, when they come off and they get their phones back and they see that as a tweet, you can see why he was annoyed at it. But yeah, there wasn't a lot done wrong, I don't think.
From neither party as well, he's allowed his opinion, I'm allowed mine, and that's what social media is for, isn't it?
I just thought it was great public. I thought it was such a great promotional campaign.
Well, it did the job I wanted it to, but not in the right way.
It's all about the results. I think you got the results that you desired. So I even when I saw the tweet initially, I was like, this is not such a big deal as everybody's sort of making this out to be. I have a very slightly random question to ask you, which is that a lot of women cricketers have been talking about some of the changes that are required to the women's game. And Snehal Pradhan, as well as Elisa Stalekar and a bunch of other people have said that this calls for a smaller ball. Do you think where do you stand on that?
This really annoys me, actually. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think there has to be a certain point where if you are a fan of cricket, you just have to accept that women's cricket is going to look different to men's, and we're not going to bowl as quick. We're not going to hit the ball as far. I do think we've improved in both those departments, but there's so much that people have suggested that will just make us playing at test venues on better pitches impossible. So people have spoke about shortening our wicket. You go and tell the groundsman at Lords that he has to put a hole like 3 meters further in the middle of Lord's cricket ground. It's not going to happen. So I think I can see why people are suggesting things, but I do think it doesn't need to happen. I think our product that we have is very good at the minute, and it's only going to get better as we train more and money is pumped into the game and we've got more visibility and that kind of stuff.
What do you think, Alex?
You had anything to that?
I couldn't agree more. I think if you look at women's cricket 5 years ago to where it was, I didn't even watch it. You look at it where it is now, it's great, and it's never going to get any worse than it is. What needs to happen first is we play on good pitches all the time. Don't play a test match on a used wicket, because you're going to get a draw. The results aren't going to be great. Play on fresh pitches, play all your matches on new pitches, train all the time, make everybody professional. And then if in the product in 5 years' time is still the same as it is now, maybe you can look into other things.
Oh, that's because I think the analysis was that as a spinner, where it's like you spin the ball more if it's smaller and it fits you on your hand. That was one of the logic.
It's already smaller though.
Yeah.
So we actually, another good story actually. So Manchester Originals this year, the men's team were travelling down to Cardiff. We had a game and they set off a little bit after us. And Simon Katic, our coach, and Carlos Brathwaite, the captain, had both forgotten the kit. So Katic had forgotten the coach's bag and Carlos had forgotten his kit altogether.
No training kit, no playing kit.
No stumps, no balls, no bats, no anything. And they had to borrow our kit because we were already down there training. And the lads came into the team room that night and they were like, those balls are tiny. I know what... That literally, they were like, it was the easiest practice because they could catch everything and they bowled it dead quick. And there is a difference already with the ball sizes. We play with a lighter ball and a slightly smaller ball. So to make it even smaller seems a bit daft.
Yeah. We're playing with a golf ball next.
They'll get some good bounce though. Yeah, it'll be spectators better watch out. And you know what? I'm going to make the joke. It's a shitty joke, but I'm just going to make it. You have to count like before driving the ball. You have to say 4, but depending on who's batting, you can change it. Alex, I've been trying to figure out the stat. Okay, but I think you mentioned it in one of the podcasts. I've just not been able to figure this out since. You have a batting statistic, which is that I think you had like a Bradman-esque average, or at some stage was that what was it?
As in for me batting.
Yeah.
So I only ever got out once in international cricket, batting it. I was number 11 batter. So I went for, I don't know how many games I played for England in the end.
Nearly 40.
Nearly 40 games and only got out once. And I wanted to go my whole career without getting out, but Hector Bish, she beat my outside edge and took my off stump, and I'll never live that day down. It still haunts me to this day. But yeah, only got out once in international cricket.
So you didn't have an average, did you?
Didn't have an average. 3 years. Yeah,
but if you got out once, then what's your overall average? Have you ever calculated?
It's about 10.
It's not bad. Number 11, that's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but if you're like, it's Ekta Bish. I mean, listen, it's Ekta Bish, so I'm happy. I'm just like, it's Ekta Bish.
I'm not.
Okay. There's a lot of questions popping in for both of you, and we'll take this last bunch of questions, and we of course got to talk about the IPL. A lot of people are very excited. Rahul Nuthaki, big fan of both of you, says, Cross and Hartley, psycho spud here listening to the podcast in reverse order, which is always a great idea.
Don't reverse order though.
Why do people do this? So spuds. So I don't know if you know this, but in England we've got like a slang term for a potato is a spud.
Yeah.
And we asked Harmanpreet, every meal that we had, she came up to us and she'd be like, Cross, Alex, why are you obsessed with potatoes over here? It's with every meal, a different form of potato. So I introduced the word spud to her, but she could only say it in our accent because that's all she's ever heard. So it became a bit of a thing that we were the spuds then. So thanks to Harmanpreet for that.
Yeah.
So the problem with reverse order is that on Spotify, they have a weird thing that if you start from, it's very weird. If you start from the first episode, then it goes to 2. But if you start from 100, it's very strange. Spotify has a weird thing with podcasts, which is like I was listening to an audiobook on one of these things and it started from the back.
Wow.
And it ruined it. It was and it was Wheel of Time. Yeah, very stressful. Okay, Pratik Rath says, what perspective do players have about making terms gender neutral? If women's ODIs are now noted as WODI, then will they change men's ODI? I think they've already started, right?
Yeah, I think in England now, the MCC have said it's not batsman, it's batter. And I think if that makes one more person feel comfortable playing cricket, male, female, transgender, whatever you are, then there is no harm in it. You know, you've got fielder, you've got bowler. What's wrong with having batter?
Yeah.
Just on the women's ODI as well, that's something that the 100 did so brilliantly this year in that they started the tournament with men's 100 and women's 100. It wasn't the 100 and the women's 100, which if you look at the Big Bash, it's the Big Bash and the women's Big Bash. You know, so they've actually started with us on a genuine level playing field with the men. So that tournament now is only going to encourage more girls to feel like they are on par with male cricketers, which I just think is really important.
Yeah, this helps everybody. Like as somebody who does a lot of cricket content, in my head, I'm like, hey, this is just going to expand the number of people watching the game and get me more brand deals. So everybody must be selfish.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Okay. This is Mandar Tendulkar says, what are your thoughts on a tournament mixed men and women team?
That'd be great until Lockie Ferguson bowls at one of us and kills us. Like actually hits us in the throat and kills us.
Yeah, or if I'm bowling at Glenn Maxwell and he literally hits me out of the ground into the river or something, I'd be like, nah.
But I think there should be more of a crossover with training venues. So I think like Glenn, he played at Lancashire and he came to one of our training sessions and he was brilliant. He did fielding with us, range hitting. Alex just about hit it out of the inner circle. So there was a big improvement. But I think if the men could come and help the women play, you know, teach skills and things like that, and vice versa, I'm sure there might be parts of the game that we might be able to help the men with. If you go off screen, they can still hear you. But yeah, I think us playing against men, not yet. Not yet. I'm not ready for it. Maybe in 5 years when I'm retired.
Rahul Nothaki says, Crossy and Hartley, do you think England women are a good bet this Ashes? You've just seen India beat Australia and England bested India earlier. So ...
I think from a pundit side of view, Australia are the better team. Australia have got the better team, but England have got a real set batting order and a real strong bowling attack, and India have proved that Australia are beatable and they've got their weaknesses. So Australia go into the Ashes as favourites, but it's a win-win for England because they're underdogs and everybody loves an underdog.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, I was going...
this thing England are better.
Obviously, I'm going to say that we can beat Australia. There's nothing, honestly, nothing better in this world than beating Australia in Australia.
Such a good feeling.
Yeah. So we have that ambition, I think, going over there. We've also got the World Cup on the back of the Ashes, so we know that I think we've also got a great tournament to prep us for a World Cup. So not that we're going to devalue the Ashes in any way, but we're getting some great preparation before that, and we can get to play more Test cricket. So it's just a really exciting time for us as players, and we love going over to Australia and, like I said, hopefully beating them.
Listen, as somebody not invested directly in a country format yet. I mean, until I get my Australian citizenship or England citizenship, I'm open to both. I'm open to Indian citizenship. I want to be a citizen of the world. Anyway, let's not get into. I just enjoy an Ashes where everybody's riled up, and it's just great. It's just such good. So Kate, I hope you take 19,000 wickets. That's
and that is one thing you can guarantee. Everybody will be up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The Ashes is.
We need to thank India because they went and stopped the winning streak of Australia. So I think they've gone 26 games without losing a one-day game. So now, like Al said, they're beatable, and I think that gives us loads of confidence as well.
Well, listen. So we were supposed to do this a week back, and that time I had written a question which I must ask you now. In that second ODI, was that a no ball or no?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it was,
Yeah, I was really, really wanting India to win. You know, like I want to see Australia lose every day. But I was watching it on the TV and I was going, it's a no ball. No, it's a no ball. If it's above.
Oh wait, no, wait. I withdraw my celebration. I thought you said it's not a no ball.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Wait, but she was crouched down, right? Wasn't she crouched down?
Yeah, but if she was stood up, it was above the waist. It was still above the waist height.
No. I've withdrawn my yay. I withdraw all of it. I thought this is no comments.
It was a no ball.
Okay, fine. I mean, you are the experts. I'm just okay. Alex, I'll accept that answer. Okay. So Dean says you don't know nighttime means you're not a Heather Knight fan. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're Heather Knight fans.
I love Heather Knight.
She scores all our runs. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
Got a golden arm as well. Always gets wickets.
Oh yeah. The which is I think that whole concept of the golden arm is just like when you see somebody who has a reputation for being a good cricketer, and you're just like, oh my god, it's that person, and then you're like, is that it? Is that what it is? Maybe. Okay. Just a couple of more chats, and then we're gonna just spend about 5-7 minutes talking about the IPL. Rahul Nutaki, he says, "What are your views on India women's depth? We saw new players be good on this Aussie tour. I feel there's enough depth in there." I think we've covered that. Vasant Narayan says, "2022 World Cup favorites and your preparations."
Is that the T20 World Cup? Is that in 2022?
Yeah.
Oh no, the 50 World Cup. As if it's 2022 next year. I honestly think it could be an incredible tournament. I think obviously the last tournament was 2017 when Al was in the winning team in England. The only thing that worries me slightly is we played over in New Zealand in February of this year, and there wasn't that much attention to the women's games. We didn't get big crowds. So I really hope that New Zealand cricket managed to make it a visible tournament for people to get on board with. And obviously the World Cup final in Australia that India played in, where there was 86,000 people at the MCG, we want to see more of that. But I think the cricket will take care of itself, and the standard will be brilliant, and everyone gets up for tournaments like that because the adrenaline's so high. So
the favourites are England, I'm going to say.
What do you say?
No, I just really want you to do the double.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm supporting India, so because I'm a patriot. Yeah, always. And also, I just listen. Shefali Verma and Smriti Mandhana are my favorite opening pair in world cricket. Like it's just, I just thoroughly enjoy. Yeah. Okay. Karan S has a great question where on Superchat he says, "When does the Psychopath World Tour start?" By the way, the gift from the family for the birthday was amazing. Kate, a happy belated birthday to Kate.
Oh yeah, it's the chair. Yeah. I'll show you.
Yeah.
So
they got the chair.
Yeah, so they got me this chair that all the shirts I've ever played cricket in are on that chair, made into it. Sorry, I've just lost the one. So right, we're back. So I'm not allowed to sit in it because it might ruin it. So it's a chair that you can't use, but it looks cool.
Yeah, but it's been a couple of days. I think the second I saw this chair, I'm like, yeah, this is what it's going to be for a few days, and then after that, he's just like, yeah, just let's sit on it.
It's so cool though, isn't it?
It is cool.
Yeah.
My sister every year will make something really sentimental, and apparently this took her a year to plan and get all my shirts and everything. So.
Yeah. It's a great gift. Okay, let's come to the IPL. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
The World Tour, yeah. Well, we'll do podcasts when we're away. So does that count as a World Tour?
We are thinking about maybe doing a live show next year, but we don't know. We'll see.
Oh, if you're popping down to India, please let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll come on one of your comedy tours.
Oh, please do. It'll be a lot of fun because we do these crowd interaction things, and it's ridiculous. And I've seen both of you be quite sledgy people, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah,
yeah,
we can do
yeah.
that.
Okay, I would love to talk to you about the IPL, and before that, I want to talk to you about. Listen, I don't want to be an ass of a person, but Deepak Chahar's proposal. I don't know if you saw that.
We were talking about this before.
What do you think?
If my husband did that or boyfriend did that, no, it's a no. Not in public. Not in public.
I mean, congratulations to both of them, and it was amazing and it's lovely. But do you know what I don't understand is he was still in his kit, so he must have been thinking in that game about this proposal for the whole. Surely he's panicking. He's thinking about what to say. Obviously, CSK lost, so maybe he thought I'll make everyone feel a bit better, and we'll have some good news. But it was strange timing, I thought. But congratulations to them both, and I hope they're very happy together.
Yeah, and also I just think KL Rahul is he's just a dick for ruining his proposal by hitting him for all those sixes. This is not how you do it, man. KL, this is a romantic moment, and just by being a king legend, you've ruined everything.
But I loved it. I loved Rahul batting yesterday. I was like,
that was a phenomenal knock, yeah. But better like, because you've seen him like I think batted about 120, 130 so far, and then suddenly he just went to the next level.
Some days you just have to accept that someone will have their day out, and I feel like he had his day out that day, and he was just unstoppable. And it was incredible. As a cricket fan, it was incredible to watch. As a CSK fan, not so much. Yeah,
but I mean, three consecutive losses. What do you think? And I'm assuming that like, does momentum play that big a role, or does it not matter for the CSK side, because they seem to like anything that happens is just water over their backs. They don't seem to be very affected by most things.
Momentum plays a massive thing in franchise cricket.
Yeah,
doesn't
it really does. But I feel like once you've qualified, I feel like you're able to relax a little bit, and those games might be opportunities to try things that you've not been able to try, or look at different formations of the team maybe. So I do think that we shouldn't panic too much about it. It's obviously not great preparation going into the qualifiers, but I do think that losing is when you do most of your learning. We've had some seasons where we've not won any games, and they've been the seasons that we've got better as cricketers, because we've learned, or we've still made the same mistakes, but we've almost learned how to overcome that the next year. But it's just exciting. I do think the four best teams have qualified. I know that we're waiting on a result today for the last one, but it's impossible. I think for was it Mumbai to qualify?
Because Rajasthan royally messed it up yesterday.
Yeah.
Well done there. You could have just said it. It's all good. But yeah, I think the rule for MI is that they have to win by 171 runs unless they bowl first, and then they're just out.
Yeah. So
it'll be great if
win the toss, you could lose the game.
But Alex, what do you think? I mean, as Kate was talking about, like, and now's the time since you've qualified. What do you think of RCB's team selections? Because some bizarre stuff happening.
Yeah, there is. They're trying to find their winning formula, aren't they? And they can't seem to find what's working for them. I think with RCB is they've put all their eggs in one basket with their overseas, and they're trying to formulate their team around that. And then when your overseas are failing and not scoring runs, I mean, Maxwell has obviously had a brilliant season for us and got run out the other day, which was unfortunate, but they're trying to figure out what's working behind Glenn. I mean, we've qualified, so it's better than last year.
We did qualify
last year, but it's better than previous years. So it's just trying to find that winning formula, and we haven't quite found that yet.
I always feel with RCB that there's a lot of external pressure on them because of the names that they've got in the team.
Yeah.
I think like you said, they've put all their eggs in one basket with the overseas, but they've got three of the best T20 franchise batters in the world in that team. And I think the second that they don't score runs, everyone has got an opinion on it and they'll talk about it. Whereas I feel like some of the other franchises have probably got more local talent that they've honed and brought through, which I think they almost go under the radar a little bit. Whereas I feel like RCB get a lot of
and then you've got
bad press.
Padikal as well, who last year got that 100 and was amazing. Now everyone's like, he's amazing. He's done this, he's done that, and he's not really done anything yet since that 100. So you go, oh, well, there's so much added pressure on him now as well.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot. Like, I mean, just to sort of deal, because I thoroughly enjoy Indian cricket fans on Instagram. because how quickly they change, like on a day-to-day basis. I remember when I think Rohit Sharma had scored one of his double hundreds, and I think the next match he got it for, I think, which was about a few days later, he got it for a low score, and the people were relentless. I was like, dude, he just got a double century.
I mean, I've been told by all my Indian fans today not to tweet about RCB because every time I tweet about them, they lose. So I'm not tweeting about them today.
I find social media really funny because we have obviously got an incredible fan base in India and it helps supporting our teams. But there'll be times where I'll tweet about CSK and winning, and everyone, or a few people will say, you're only tweeting to get followers. And then if I don't tweet the next game, everyone says, where are you? Why are you not tweeting? CSK are playing today. So you can't win. So there's no way that you can please everybody on the internet.
Yeah, just don't. I mean, like, you're damned if you do it. So this is how Indian comedians feel like talking about politics. Where if you talk, it's a problem. If you don't, then it's an issue as well. So either way, you're screwed. Okay, I got to see this. There's a very mystical quote which came in from Dhoni about next year, where he said, "You'll see me in yellow, but I'm not sure. But whether I'll be in the playing team or no, it remains to be seen." So what do you think? Is he going to be playing or no?
He's going to be bye-bye.
You know what? Last year, I feel like when everyone was asking him if he's going to play again, there was no like option for him not to be. It made it very clear he was going to play. And I feel like this message has kind of, where she's going, I feel like this message has maybe tried to set the fans up for the fact that he won't play.
Yeah.
I mean,
he might go surprise, one more year.
Or he might play for another team, because that's what he said, didn't he? That with the way the franchises works, he's not sure who buys who.
But he said he'd be in yellow.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he'll be part of the coaching staff and have like one of those hybrid roles where he sometimes plays and sometimes coaches.
Well, I mean, there's two teams that are blue. So, I mean, after two more teams get bid for or pop in, there might be another one which will just choose to be dark yellow just to have Dhoni on the side. You never know.
Yeah.
These are all possibilities. Okay, the last question I'd love to ask you: what have been your sort of cliff notes or stickies about the IPL so far? I wanted to get to the stickies, but we don't have that much time. What is something that stuck out for you where either it's a player or a moment, whether it's the third umpiring not calling a no ball, which is outside the pitch or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that. That was strange.
Did see that. What's stuck in my memory?
Who are the players that have really like just come from either nowhere or just really surprised you in a pleasant way or unpleasant way, whatever?
I guess from a CSK point of view, I think Kaur has been the kind of standout for, especially because he made his debut with India this year and he did well for them. And I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying about the talent that's been honed from, you know, people coming through CSK rather than signing people. But something that stuck out for me, this is really random, but I was watching something that RCB did with Glenn Maxwell a couple of months ago, and Chahar he was taking the mick out of Glenn Maxwell for doing a diving catch. And he said, you only turn up and do a diving catch when the cameras are there and you can win money for it. And he gave Glenn so much stick for it. And I just thought it was brilliant because he was just giving Glenn Maxwell abuse, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
There's been a few that have stood out for me. I mean, I watched a game yesterday. I was commentating on a game yesterday. Can't remember who it was now.
What did they do?
Just a bowler. He was a seam bowler, and he was just great. You know, and I can't remember.
Are you talking about Umran Malik, the guy who bowled the?
Malik, yeah. And he was like, you know, I was watching him thinking, like, this guy, he's got such a simple game plan, but it's working really well for him. And he had an over which was pretty expensive, but his 3 previous overs were brilliant. And he doesn't bowl rapid heat. He doesn't bowl like Lockie Ferguson, but he just keeps things really simple, and I really like that about him.
I think another standout for me has been Dinesh Karthik. I didn't really know much about him before this year, and he's obviously come over and done some commentary in the English season, and he commentated on our first game in the 100. But he's just brilliant. I think, you know, the fact that he's still playing, the fact that he's able to give an insight from a commentator's point of view, he looks like he's enjoying his cricket.
He hit a massive 6 yesterday as well. So.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. And I love his shirt. So very similar to the one you've got on.
This is from Dinesh Karthik's wardrobe. A few of his suitcases arrived in my house. But I won't keep you longer. I know you have dinner to get to, which in your
we've got the Lancashire end of season dinner to go to.
I've got to go do my face.
Oh, you got to actual dinner. Okay. This has been a real pleasure. Thanks a lot for taking the time of Alex Hartley and Kate Cross. If anything you'd like to tell people to do, anything you'd like to follow or do, or just anything, please feel free to plug.
Follow us on social media at Alex Hartley 93.
At Kate Cross 16. Also, listen to our podcast because it's good fun.
It is good fun. It's No Balls, the cricket podcast.
Superb. I'll put the links for all of those in the pinned comment as well as the description. This has been a real pleasure, and I enjoy both your careers. I enjoyed the 100. I enjoy everything that you do. So best of luck with all of that, and enjoy the dinner. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thanks. Bye.
See you. Bye. Superb. That was a fun chat. Sorry I couldn't take all the super chats. As I said, we had 1 hour. I'll try and read all the super chats that are pending right now. I will put the link for all of the stuff in the comments as well, and I'll just do a lot of sort of build up to the current match today. Okay, we have Jatin 1 2 3 4 who says, have you both sledged each other when you played against each other? Has sledging in women cricket reached Payne Ashwin levels yet? I think there was that one with Healy saying something to Shefali Verma, which is kind of fun. But again, I think they've spoken about this in the No Balls podcast, which is quite a lot of fun. Rahul Nuthaki says, Alex, have you brought up your World Cup win yet this episode? Damn it, I forgot to ask her that question, man. OG Spud here, the listing in reverse order thing is just a joke. Got it. That was a joke. See, I don't understand jokes much, as you may have established by now. Okay, we have Nilesh Yadav, whose super chat has disappeared into thin air. I will try and source it somewhere. Nilesh Yadav says, hello, Kate and Alex. Good to see you both. Could you tell something about Sophia Eccleston? Big fan. Dude, I really wanted to talk about Sophia Eccleston because she seems like a real character of the game. Like even when she was... she always seems like something's up. It's very Ashwin vibes in the best way possible. Anyway, that's been about it. If you have any other questions, happy to take them. Again, subscribe because a lot of people are popping in. I know somebody mentioned earlier that Chloe Amanda Bailey was supposed to be coming on yesterday or day before yesterday. I think she's a bit caught up with some work. I'm sure she'll pop in at some stage. And Tushar Singh says, bring more women's cricketers. I've been trying to, honestly, been trying to talk to a lot of people. And hopefully we will have more women cricketers popping in at some stage soon. I'm always happy to, like, this is a real fun conversation. Okay, last thing before I leave, this weekend I'm going to be in Hyderabad. On Saturday I have a show. You know what, I should just get this right. I should just get where I'm performing, at least be that much professional about my own career. I'm going to be at the Moonshine Project on Saturday, and I'm going to be, which is at 5 p.m. Please know the time. And on Sunday, I'm going to be at a place called Over the Moon. Also a couple of opening acts in Hyderabad, so that should be fun as well. So Saturday, Sunday is Hyderabad. And then on 16th of October, I'm doing a show at J Spot in Bandra West, where I'm going to spend about 60 minutes talking to the crowd and screwing around and doing about 30 minutes of stand-up. And maybe I'll get a special guest to pop in and do a Punt Plus One. Toddling Statesman says he didn't prepare for the questions and didn't take any from us. I prepared a lot of questions and I took about 16 questions from Super Chat. I tried my best. I have 1 hour with a lot of these people. So kindly understand that there's, I think I asked quite a few relatively pertinent questions. I don't know what you missed here. SS45 says, Sorabh, अब तो शर्ट का बटन खोल दे, मुझको गर्मी लग रही है. भाई AC चालू है यहाँ पर, टेंशन नहीं लेने का भाई. Anyway, tickets for all my shows are popping in. I put the link right there. And okay, so people are agreeing with statements. Well, please tell me what I did wrong. I don't know what the criticism is about. Do tell me what I missed out. I did in fact, I did quite an extensive amount of research and I tried to take as many questions as I could. On most of these shows, the way this works is that I can take super chats because the financial model we follow to try and make the show keep running is based on super chats. I don't have sponsors, and when sponsors pop in, it's not like a ridiculous amount of money. It's just literally to keep things running. So do tell me. I'm open to suggestions. What I missed out on, I did a genuinely stupid amount of research. So you saying that I've not researched is a bit bizarre. I asked a lot of questions. Maybe you missed the time where this thing. Adesh Chaudhary says Ellis Perry. I love Ellis Perry, man. Some of the stats are absolutely crazy. So yeah, let's bring on TGC. I will probably the next time. Ashish Kumar says he missed the whole podcast, I guess. What are you guys talking about? I don't know what this is. What did I do? I don't understand what this criticism is randomly. I asked as many questions as I could, man. What's wrong with people, man? Like, what are your expectations here? I asked literally every question. I have like literally 4 pages of notes here. You guys are just being dicks now, dude. Like, this is just like, I don't understand what you want. Anyway, Hemant Sharma says, nah, you did good, chill. Thanks, Ronak Chaudhary. Thanks. I appreciate it. Really nice of you. Okay, super. I will keep getting more and more exciting people. Great cricketer. I will ask probably once the semi-finals roll around. Hopefully, if they're free, because again, it's there's a lot of time difference and all that kind of stuff. Let's find out what's happening today. I don't know if anybody has any updates on the team. I would love to know from all of you if you think MI can actually do this. Do you think Mumbai is chosen to bat at least so there is potential in this match now. This is great. There's at least some point in this match. So I think what they need to score is, I would say, a minimum of like 250 and a minimum is what it is. Yeah. Ashish Kumar says, "Are not you, Baba, that guy?" Oh, acha, you're disagreeing with him. Cool. Thank you so much. I'm very insecure these days. Okay. I'm genuinely very insecure about everything right now because I released a video that took me 6 years to make a stand up and it's not crossed 100K views yet. So I'm very insecure as a person. I'm losing my mind a little bit. I apologize. Okay. This is, I'm ruining this whole stream. This has gone off well. Okay. Let's see Mumbai Indians versus SRH. Okay. 2 changes. Krunal and Piyush Chawla is in. Dude, they've dropped Tiwari. Oof. And they've dropped Tiwari and Jayant Yadav. Okay, Jayant Yadav had a tough match. And Manish Pandey has come out for the toss for Sunrisers. That is very interesting information. This is going to either... So this match is either going to make Mumbai Indians qualify or launch Manish Pandey, who I think has potential as of this thing. 300 coming today, says Ronak Chaudhary. Okay, yeah. Let's see. I sincerely doubt that, but okay. Pratik Menon says, finally managed to join a conversation after long. I appreciate it. Human says it was an awesome conversation, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Ambani can do it. David Juneja says, no chance. Even Ambani can't pull this off. मैं जाके देखता हूँ 3 बार. मस्त है आशीष कुमार, देख ले. Say Mandana is better than anyone. I mean, Mandana is fantastic. I have been trying to get in touch with a lot of India's women cricketers, but I think it's a lot easier to get whatever, irrespective of gender. It's a lot easier to get cricketers from outside India, like barring like a few who have seen me perform stand-up comedy live, which is a handful of them. Rono Chaudhary says Tiwari ko balance karne ke liye Chawla. Nice. Yeah, that makes no sense, dude. I think their logic is that it really makes no sense. This is some KKR level of not playing Loki Ferguson and replacing him with a shuttlecock. I don't know what they did. But anyway, so the news is that Mumbai's won the toss and Rohit calls the number scary. But let's see. I sincerely doubt they're going to make it. Superb. Let's see how this goes. Again, if you've not seen, last thing I'll plug is that if you've not seen my stand-up about the Mumbai Indians, please do. I think we're about to cross 100K finally, which is good. I worked pretty hard on it, spent 6 years. This is a show about how I made the Mumbai Indians win the IPL. It's based on an absolutely true story. So I hope you enjoy it. Somebody will put the link somewhere. I can't find it. My YouTube is conked off. Anyway. That's about it, friends. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for tuning in. Again, if you enjoyed this, please tweet to Kate Cross and Alex Hartley. Listen to the podcast, which is the No Balls podcast, and come see me live and do all the rest of that stuff. If you have any... Oh, we've crossed 100K on that video. Not bad. Thank you so much. This is a minor relief to me. I really appreciate it. I was discussing with Abhijit Ganguly, and he's like, hey, man, my stand-up clip views have been really shit. And I asked how much, and he said 250K. And I'm like, hey man, I'd love to get 250K. So I think we're all on different levels in general in life. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. Please go watch the Sharon has put it there. Just big thanks to everybody who super chatted. Really appreciate it because that's what keeps the show running. This has been going on for a really long time, this outro that I'm doing. Sharanya, thanks a lot to just a nice person, and Manav Avasti as well. Take care of yourself. Subscribe to the channel. Love you all. Marry me. Goodbye. And I'm